Hello everyone, how is everyone doing? I hope that the end of your year is closing out splendidly. I thought I would close my year here on YouTube with a finale to my beauty bank project. So if you haven't been watching my beauty bank project, I started it at the beginning of this year. I joined in with Steph from her channel, It's Just Steph, and Emily from Emily and Max. I'll have them linked down below. They were doing this project first. I decided to join in with them. It is a project where you give yourself points at the beginning of the year. Every time you buy a beauty product, you lose a point from your beauty bank, and every time you finish a product, you gain a point back. And we each have our own rules for ourselves, ways that we are doing this, and obviously the goal is just to avoid bringing too much stuff into your collection. So I will go through how I did this month, and then I will do a year-end wrap-up of how I think the year went and what I'm planning on for next year. So let's get right into it. Ooh, I always say that, and then I'm like, wait a second, I didn't tell you about my tea. I'm drinking this delicious tea from this really interesting brand called Renegade Tea Estate, and they're from the country of Georgia. This is the Lazy Morning Oolong Tea, and it's a very good classic oolong with a wonderful kind of thick mouthfeel and a very pleasant kind of floral taste. Really yummy. Okay, so now I can start on how I did in the month of December. So I always like to begin with any gifts or PR that I received. I actually did receive some gifts. My friend gave me another Wet n Wild liner. It's actually the liner I'm wearing today, except the one that I'm using is much shorter. Let me grab it. The liner is absolutely huge. I've been working on mine for like 2 years. Look at that. I have probably another 2 years left on mine, but she gave me a fresh one. She decided she doesn't like brown eyeliner, and this is completely new. So I have a backup now of my favorite brown eyeliner, which I'm happy about that. I'm happy to have another one. The same friend bought a double pack of the L'Oreal Telescopic, and we had been talking about how we wanted to experiment more with drugstore mascaras this year. So she gave me one of these. It got me going on my experiment next year of trying out drugstore mascaras. So this is actually the mascara I'm wearing today. So far, I'm very pleased, but I will have a very proper review video. I'm going to do a whole video on this classic mascara. I will put that up in the month of January. But anyway, since this was a gift, this doesn't count against my beauty bank. Oh, and I forgot to say, I started December with 3 points left in my bank. Then I had another friend buy a bunch of these sugar lip balms. They were in like a little set on sale. So she gave me the Advanced Therapy, which I have used this before and I love it. I really, really enjoy this. And then she also gave me the lip treatment in the shade Rosé, which I've never tried one of the tinted balms from Fresh before, so that's what Rosé looks like. Let's see, does it have much of a tint? Let's swatch it and see. Tiniest, barest pink tint. Perfect. So thank you so much to my friend for gifting these to me as well. I will use them. Okay, now let's go through the products that I have purchased and then the stuff that I used up after that. So something that was actually part of my Black Friday haul and I just didn't have it to show you last month. So here it is, albeit a bit late. I'm actually wearing this on my eyes today. This is from Glamlite. This is the Chocolate Martini palette. Today is the very first day I have started testing this. Again, I will have a review video for this in the month of January. It is so fun, isn't it? I actually swatched everything out this morning when I was trying to decide what I wanted to do for my eyes. This shade kind of reminds me of one of my favorite Glam shop shadows. Isn't that fun? I've got that on my inner corner. Anyway, such a fun palette. This is the very first palette I have ever tried from Glamlite. They were having a great Black Friday sale and my friend and I both wanted to try them, so we went in on an order together. Then I finally picked up something that I had been eyeing all year long. And I had points at Sephora for like $10 off, and it was during the 20% off sale for anyone. Like, I think that's the best sale ever. Who cares about the VIB sale? Just wait for these random 20% off sales, right? So I picked up the Natasha Denona Glam face palette. So this, and I got it in the light shade. So it comes with a cream blush, a highlighter, and 5 eyeshadows. I have been testing this as well. I will save my review for this, for that review video. But I am wearing both the blush and the highlighter from this today. So that was another point gone. Now I do have something else I would like to share with you, but the extreme weather across the country has caused some pretty bad shipping delays, so I have some things that should have been here by now, and they are not. So I'm just going to have to put up pictures. Normally when this happens, I would just show you during the next update, but this is the finale. So I will show you pictures of things that are counting against my beauty bank this month. So I ordered the Natasha Denona Super Glow. This has been 50% off. And Lauren May Beauty, who has been into highlighter even all these years whenever everyone else has been kind of done with highlighter, she still loves it. I really trust her reviews of highlighter, and she's always said this is the best highlighter ever. So 50% off. I decided to grab it. It should be here today, honestly, but our UPS often comes quite late in the evening, so I was unwilling to wait for it. But so that is 1 point gone for my beauty bank. Also, just yesterday, I decided to finally place an e.l.f. order. I'm not sure how e.l.f.'s points work, but I had enough points to get $10 off my order, and I noticed that my status with their point system was resetting on January 1st, and I don't know if that means I was going to be losing all my points or what. I'm like, I gotta use my points. So I finally decided to order the e.l.f. Halo Glow filter that everyone has been so obsessed with. I ordered it in the fair shade, and then I also picked up my very favorite concealer from e.l.f., the Flawless Brightening Concealer. I finished mine off this year. I was trying to hold back from repurchasing it, but I have been missing it in my life, and it was 60% off. So I grabbed it. It was something like $2. So that was another 2 points gone from my beauty bank. So I started at 3 points. All the products I mentioned was 5 products. So that would bring me down to a point balance of -2. Now let's talk about the products I have finished. I finished off my Seraphine Botanicals Hibiscus and Balm Glow Lip Mask. This is such a major win. I thought this was going to be carrying through until next year, but woohoo! This was a big lip mask tube to finish off. So I'm really, really happy with that, but that gave me a point back. I also finished off my Kaleidos Lucid Lip Gloss in the shade Dramatize. This was another major win. Always happy to finish off lip products. And then something I have been working on and off for like 2 years, my Item Beauty Spray. I finished this off this month. So that gave me 3 points back into my beauty bank, which means I'm ending the year with 1 point left. I consider that a major, major win. My main goal was just to not go negative, to not end in the negative. Also, even though I did give myself 35 points, which if you look at like the plussing and minusing and everything, that means that I have added to my collection by 34 products this year. However, whenever I decluttered something, I didn't count that against or for my beauty bank. So I don't really think my collection has gone up quite that much this year because I have been decluttering as the year goes along. So for my goals, I would consider this a resounding success. I was thinking I would just go ahead and continue it into the next year. However, I don't think I'm going to, and here is my reasoning. So in the past, whenever I would give myself a budget of how much I could spend per month on beauty, I would buy as many products as possible to fit within that budget, which meant even though I wasn't spending a lot of money and not going over budget, I was bringing in a lot of things. With this beauty bank, I noticed that I'm not bringing in a lot of things, but it's like I save my points for the more expensive things that have been on my list for years. It's like I'm giving myself permission to buy the high-end things. So you might have noticed this year, I had a lot of high-end things in my favorites. It's because I was buying a lot of high-end things because I wasn't allowing myself to buy too much stuff, if that makes sense. So it's like I haven't yet found the perfect middle ground for me. I swing one way or the other. I'm either buying a lot of things or I'm buying some expensive things. After all of this experimenting for the past 3 years on YouTube, can you believe that? 3 years here on YouTube. I began right at the beginning of 2020. I've decided that next year I'm going to try something that I feel like might work just because of my personality. I'm going to try to trust myself to just do a good job. I find self-guilt to be a quite big motivator. So if I have given myself permission by giving myself a budget, I will spend it. If I've given myself permission by giving myself a beauty bank, I will spend it. But next year, I'm not giving myself either of those things. And I'm just curious to see how well I do just by organically letting myself either buy or not buy. I'm very interested to see how it goes. I feel like if I had tried this 3 years ago, it would have been a lot more of a struggle. It's because I was getting into makeup then, which meant I wanted to try all the things. Now, I still have a really long wish list, but I have a much larger collection now. I have an idea of what I enjoy, what I probably wouldn't enjoy, and I have very much in the back of my mind of how long certain things take to use up. Things like foundations and concealers, lip glosses, for instance. So often I can hold myself back just by thinking, oh, I should wait until I finish off this product before I allow myself to buy that. So yeah, I'm gonna see how I do next year. It might be a disaster, or maybe I'll do well. We'll see. If you have been following along with this project all year, thank you so much for following along and your support. I have been really enjoying this project this year, so thank you again so much. I hope everyone is safe, warm, and healthy, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye, guys.